Welcome back to Beyond the Curve, everybody. I have some great videos for you today. The purpose of this channel is to get people to think, to open their eyes, to see truth in plain sight. It's not to upset anybody or argue with anybody. It's just to get you to critically think and have fun. So please hit that like button, share, comment, and subscribe. Let's do it.
The earth is flat, the moon landing's fake. Lizard people rule us, for goodness sake. Chemtrails in the sky, they're controlling our minds. This ringtone's the truth that everyone finds. It's the conspiracy theorist hotline, uncovering secrets all the time. If you hear this tone, and the truth will be told about aliens, Bigfoot, and conspiracies all.
Any Marilyn Monroe fans out there? Well, if you are and you want to remain one, I wouldn't keep watching. You see, I had a documentary playing in the background on the TV as I was doing my research, and Andy Warhol crossed the screen, and I took a closer look. And then I said, if there is anyone ever that is a character, I'm looking at him. And at first I thought that has to be George McFly playing Andy Warhol. But then I remembered that George McFly actually did play Andy Warhol in the Doors movie. That's a funny symbol. But this character looked awfully feminine. So I started doing my research on good old Andy Warhol. And it wasn't long before I remembered he was very famous for a Marilyn Monroe painting. And then my next step was to check the numbers. Do they line up? Did she die around the same time that Andy Warhol became famous? And would you imagine that? She passed away in 1962 and Andy Warhol became famous in 1962. But you couldn't ever imagine that this face could become this face, could you? I mean, when you really look at them, there's a chance, right? Well, what if I told you I found my smoking gun? Would you still not believe that they're one and the same? Well, I'm going to show you. But first, I want you to get your mind right and clear it completely and allow the possibilities to just flood in, and don't be held prisoner by what you think you've always known. Let's take a look. Now, like I said, these faces couldn't possibly be the same, right? I mean, there would be clear and obvious answers to that. Like that, we would see that, right? Well, what if they just decided to remove that? And there would have to be other things, right? Like, I don't know, two very clear and distinct dots on her face and two very clear and distinct dots on his face in the exact same place. And I haven't even told you my favorite part of this yet. As I was researching, as I often do, I put some sort of TV program on in the background just for some background noise. And on this day, I chose Seinfeld, and I literally went through and just picked a random episode. And as I was researching this exact thing, this is what came on the TV.
Yeah, that was Joel DiMaggio.
The guy slept with Marilyn Monroe. He's in Dinky Donuts.
That was just a little gift from the big guy upstairs letting me know I was on the right track, because synchronicities aren't coincidences. They're signs from above. They're letting you know that you're nosing around in the right direction. And I almost forgot to point out how identical their noses are. But of course, this is all for entertainment purposes. I know that Marilyn Monroe just happened to die the same year that Andy Warhol came on the scene. Total coincidence. And that her most distinguishable feature just happens to be in the exact same place of a scar from something that looks like it was removed. And this most certainly is not them just rubbing the truth right in our face. Definitely not. It's just he thought Marilyn Monroe was a great subject to paint. So you think these guys are just doppelgangers. Huh. These guys too, also them? Interesting. And these guys, Edward Norton and Sam Rockwell, just doppelgangers? And you're sure about this, right? Real sure? Again, just doppelgangers?
Once Kevin and his team sculpted all the details, they created another set of negatives and then poured silicone into those molds and sandwiched it all together. Silicone is necessary for perfectly mimicking the translucency and texture of skin. As you can see here, it also naturally wrinkles like old human skin would.
The color of the silicone is already intrinsically colored to be a flesh tone, and you can see light through this if I could get that the right angle.
Yep, it's got to be it. Doppelgangers. That's all it is. I don't know what I was thinking. And of course, this is all for entertainment purposes. I know that they're doppelgangers.
Celebrity doppelgangers from the past.
Celebrities with the exact same faces: Sandra Bullock and Rosalind Sanchez, Ryan Reynolds and Kate Beckinsale, Selena Gomez and Rachel Bilson, Kris Jenner and Selma Blair, Denise Onona and Kate Moss, Courtney Cox and Demi Moore, Rachel Sennett and Nemi Rossum, Javier Bardem and Jeffrey Dean Morgan, Jenna Ortega and Taylor Russell, Natalia Dyer and Timothy Chalamet, Bill Skarsgård and Steve Buscemi, Antoni Porowski and John Mayer, Daniel Radcliffe and Elijah Wood, Matt Damon and Jesse Plemons.
What is your obsession of the year?
Zac Efron is my obsession. He's here. What you don't know is that Zac Efron and I are the same person. We're not here. We are the same person. He just puts on his wig and a dress, and it's me, and you don't know that. And it's the greatest ruse of all time.
Who have the exact same faces: Denise Onona and Kate Moss, Kylie Jenner and Bebe Rexha, Jenna Ortega and Taylor Russell, Daisy Edgar Jones and Anne Hathaway, Natalia Dyer and Timothy Chalamet, Billie Eilish and Veronica Castro, Selena Gomez and Rachel Bilson, Courtney Cox and Demi Moore, Kris Jenner and Selma Blair, Zoe Deutsch and Haley Lou Richardson, Margot Robbie and Samara Weaving, Ian Somerhalder and Chase Crawford, Jada Pinkett and Zoe Saldana, Victoria Justice and Nina Dobrev.
where you can stay forever. You can be sure that it will only get better. You and me together through the days and nights. I don't worry 'cause everything's gonna be alright. People keep talking, they can say what they like, but all I know is everything's gonna be alright. No one, no one, no one can get in the way of what I'm feeling. No one, no one, no one can get in the way of what I feel for you. Get in the way of what I feel for you. When the rain is pouring down and my heart is hurting, you will always be around. This I know for certain. You and me together through the days and nights. I don't worry 'cause everything's gonna be alright. People keep talking, they can say what they like, but all I know is everything's gonna be alright. No one, no one, no one can get in the way of what I'm feeling. No one, no one, no one can get in the way of what I feel for you. Get in the way of what I feel. I know.
Well, that's suspicious.
Am I crazy or is that a second eyeball? You can see it right there. See that little, looks like an eye. It looks like an eyeball, bro. Look at his eye. Look at it. See that little brown spot? Look at it move. See that? You saw it move? Second pupil behind. You see it, right?
That's sick.
Jake. Well, yes. And no. I promise to help you find the killer, Mary.
Jake, what's wrong with you?
Oh, Jake's not here right now. No prison can hold a man who's free inside himself. Remember, Mary? I can leave my own body and temporarily enter theirs. Until the Archangel Samuel revealed it was a gift. I've honored the contract.
Like happy.
Rich and elite have the ability to replace themselves with identical clones. In September 2019, comedian and actor Kevin Hart was involved in a serious car accident. The incident occurred in the early morning hours of September 1st in Calabasas, California. Hart was a passenger in his vintage Plymouth Barracuda, which was being driven by his friend, Jared Black. Another passenger, Rebecca Broxterman, was also in the car. According to reports, Black lost control of the vehicle and veered off the road, causing the car to crash through a wooden fence and into a ditch. The car reportedly rolled over before coming to a rest. Emergency services were called to the scene, and both Hart and Black were trapped inside the vehicle. Hart suffered significant injuries in the crash, including fractures to his spine. He was quickly transported to a nearby hospital and underwent surgery. Hart's injuries required a lengthy recovery period, including physical therapy and rehabilitation. After recovering, Kevin appeared on the cover of Men's Health and opened up about his car crash. "It's a resurrection," he said. "That's the best way for me to put it. The theory suggests that Kevin Hart tragically died in the accident and was subsequently replaced with an identical clone, complete with implanted memories and fully immersed into the original Kevin's life and career. Proponents have pointed to videos and interviews where Kevin doesn't seem like himself or acts otherwise out of character. In 2005, we saw the release of the film The Island, starring Ewan McGregor and Scarlett Johansson. The film presents a not-so-distant future where the super-rich and elite have access to fully grown and sentient clones, from which they harvest skin, bone, organs, and whatever else they need from them at will. The celebrity clone theory often arises from speculation about abrupt changes in a celebrity's behavior, appearance, or personal life. Proponents of this theory argue that these changes are evidence of the original person being replaced by a clone. Some claim that cloning technology has advanced to the point where it is possible to create identical replicas of individuals, enabling powerful entities to control and manipulate the world by replacing key figures with obedient clones. This concept of utilizing clones for the benefit of the wealthy and influential echoes the themes explored in The Island. Although it was a work of science fiction, it has sparked discussions about the ethical implications and potential realities of such practices. While there is currently no scientific evidence to support the existence of human cloning or the replacement of individuals with clones, the idea captivates the imaginations of those who question the extent of scientific advancements in secret laboratories hidden from the public eye. Speculations surrounding Kevin Hart's alleged clone replacement often hinge on perceived changes in his behavior and demeanor. Some argue that he no longer appears like his authentic self, or acts in ways inconsistent with his past persona.
You must see.
Your favorite celebrity has been alive for a very long time.
Honestly, I don't know. All I'm saying is it's crazy. Look at these two. Tell me they don't look alike. Okay, now I seen someone saying this is the same person. No, it's not. There's dude's name right there. Crazy, right? Funny how you say vampires. Maybe a little bit of a stretch, but I just thought it was funny. Now tell me that's not the same person. Well, it's not, but that's crazy. Check that out. Here's the name of this guy, because people were wondering. And then obviously that's Mark Zuckerberg. I think he was the king of France. Both have power. There's another one. There's the name of that girl. Now you guys love this one. There's his name. There's Big Alec. Don't they look just alike? Just fluffier? Guess that's Pope Gregory. Look into it. Check that one out. Now, I don't know if these people are vampires, clones, what they are, but these resemblances are crazy.
By the way, this video is scripted and for entertainment purposes only.
How's Kanye? You have
Well,
love
I
for him?
met like 5 or 6 different Kanye.
Do you remember when
The
he was a
first
nerd?
four was awesome. The last 2 was a little bit.
Couldn't you be like, do a Steve Harvey, be like, enough of this foolishness?
Go Robo.
Is your favorite celebrity playing someone else?
Do you still not realize that they're all playing multiple roles?
Could be.
And I'm not just talking this guy. I'm talking all of them. Why don't we take a look at 2 supposedly different individuals in Benicio del Toro and Brad Pitt?
He's like the
They
same
look kind of
person,
similar,
man.
right?
Yeah.
Kind of real similar, even in their younger years. But that's all it is, right? Similarity. They just have similar features. They couldn't possibly be the same person, right? Well, let's take a closer look and see what we can find.
Okay.
Did you ever see when Benicio won an Oscar? Kind of runs like somebody I know. I don't know. There's just some similarities to it. Maybe it's just me. Although he does celebrate as he's being handed an Oscar. Oh, and did you see who just happened to hand him that Oscar? Brad Pitt's wife, and she just happens to be looking adoringly
It's getting real weird
at
real
Benicio
fast.
and seems pretty chummy with him for photos. But again, it's just coincidence. I'm making too much of this. Kind of like the coincidence of them sitting very identically and having the exact same mannerisms.
This is insane.
And did you know they both just happen to be known for eating food a lot in their movie roles?
You handle food better on screen than anybody I've seen. And I want to.
Someone explain that to me. Say weird.
Proof that John Cena might be Jim Carrey.
Or is it genius?
People are starting to believe Jim Carrey plays the role of many different celebrities behind a mask. Many people believe that John Cena died in a car accident back in July 2016. This was also around the time when John Cena completely changed his look and suddenly had a Jim Carrey hint to him. Not just this, but his voice has slipped up many times, sounding much like Jim. Some think that John is simply Jim Carrey wearing a bodysuit and is a fictional character. This would explain Jim Carrey disappearing from Hollywood in 2016 as well. They took this photo together. After the conspiracies came out, this was believed to be nothing but a damage control photo so they could put this theory to rest. This would make sense why Jim Carrey starred in the movie The Mask and John starred in Ricky Stanicky. They were throwing it in our faces all along. Jim is believed to play more fictional characters of Hollywood than just Cena. Follow if you think this is insane.
If they keep pitching me slow 16-inch fatties, I'm going to keep knocking them out of the park. And if you're new to what I do here, well, I've done a lot of these videos, and I'm going to try to not say any names here, but you get the picture. The picture that one guy is playing the other. And I always thought it was just when the one guy was falling, but oh no, it's more than that. Well, do you remember this scene where he is controlling his voice? Because it looks an awful lot like something I've seen that other guy do recently. And when you pair those two clips up side by side, there's no doubting the intentionality behind it. Because I lined this up without editing it, and the synchronicities are undeniable. Watch the handshake. Even here, he looks like he smells a fart when they're making a farting noise. Down to the hand movement yet again. And then next comes the exact same mouth movements at the exact same time, followed by the exact same grin at the end. It's undeniable. And if you're new to seeing the fact that they do this with these two guys, stick around. I'll show you some evidence that I've used in past videos. Look at this, guys. You don't see it? You're just choosing not to. And just to show you how far they go in this mockery, watch his face like he looks like he smelled something at the same time of those noises.
I'm sorry, we seem to be having some technical difficulties. In other news, my apologies.
Like I said, if you're new here, it's not the first time they've done this. It's predictive programming. It's mockery. It's saying you're too dumb to realize that he is being played by him, and we're going to put it right in your face, and you're still not going to realize it. Even when there's a guy on social media pointing it out over and over and over again.
That I was associated with, they were cloning not only species like plants and animals, but they were also regenerating tissues of extraterrestrials and growing them and then cloning them. And then they started cloning humans a very long time ago. It's interesting now that in the news, after talking about this a few times, that now they're coming for China just has been doing it forever, but in their underground facilities, cloning people, cloning, of course, you heard about, they cloned the first primate. And hey, they can clone a primate. This verifies what I'm talking about. Well, they can definitely clone a human. And they're also growing humans for organs. But clones are everywhere. Human, extraterrestrial, they're wandering all over. You know, some people will refer to these as doppelgangers because they can grow a human to look like someone and mind program and implant them with circuitry and things like this. And they will really think they had this life and implant them into a business or into whatever organization they want.
Well, is there a hidden agenda? Because you've just brought something up that just scares the living daylights out of me. To replace us with a clone, and who would know the difference?
This is one of the probably only times, George, that you got me on a negative part, because there is an agenda. There are hundreds of people being cloned in underground facilities in Australia and in some parts of the United States. There's no reason to, clone people and keep it a secret and make horrible experiments on these people and mind implant them.
We're primarily concerned about humans cloning human for their own purpose.
Right.
But what about ETs cloning humans? humans?
I mean, it's possible. I'm not aware of any extraterrestrials that are, cloning humans. I am aware of extraterrestrial beings that are collecting DNA from humans.
That's been ongoing.
But for a good reason, not for a bad reason. They can make anything too. I mean, they're already at an advanced level of science that we would not understand to do that if they needed to.
Is a clone, Emery, basically human being identical to the clone? And so they eat, they sleep, they do everything that a human does?
No, because they still have to go through the growing process. It's a lot of work.
You can't speed that up.
Well, they have sped it up. They can make a George Nori in about 8 years from baby to you.
Okay.
The problem is the brain cannot grow that fast as the body can. There seems to be a problem they're having with the brains.
What's the agenda? What's the mission here to clone?
I don't know that agenda. I can just give you my opinion on it, that they would use it for a fear type thing, such as a fake alien invasion, definitely control, like a secret army, a secret group of assassins. It's very frightful just to know that they're doing this on a mass production conveyor belt is horrifying enough.
World's Fairs programmed an entire generation. They showcased the latest and greatest in technology, including the baby incubator. They claimed 12 months growth in 1 hour. Was this an early form of cloning technology? The 1893 World's Fair in Chicago was selling complete setups for the purpose of growing human babies to hospitals and amusement parks. Were these the original Cabbage Patch babies?
Okay, now y'all remember the last video that I did about cloning, right? Well, check this out. You see, Dr. Dre created Eminem, and Eminem is creating 50 Cent, or shall I say recreate. It would seem as though 50 Cent was created as an android.
Robotoid.
Now this here is footage of the I Need a Doctor video by Dr. Dre. Now, I should say Eminem. But you would notice that Dr. Dre tends to be more of a clone variety than an android, unlike 50 Cent in the previous video. Now, a lot of these entertainers tend to get replaced. You see that he had supposedly passed away. I'm going to do a video showing footage of before and after pictures of the Hollywood elites. If you look closely, Eminem is hurt and also disgusted as he noticed that Dre is now dead. To bring me back to life. Y'all hear it. Stay tuned for more footage.
What very often occurs is that an elite will get to a very old, ripe age, or they will die in some sort of an accident publicly. Privately, they are taken, and depending on their level, they are either age regressed or they have their consciousness basically downloaded into a clone that is an exact duplicate of them. They then disappear from the public eye forever and go into these programs or go into retirement. This is something that pops up a lot in the programs, and everyone that is served deeply knows that the elite have access, and many of them never really die.
Girls, because I was raised in a cloning lab.
to be the perfect woman for Hugh M. Hefner. So other than the fact that my IQ is probably a little higher than he would like, I have nothing to worry about.
For cloning humans?
Dan, just listen for a minute. At that time, I was working for MI5, and we were assigned to infiltrate an undercover research facility in the middle of the Alps. About 3 weeks prior, the head in command had recruited a fleet out to the middle of the Alps to detain these scientists who were engaged in replicating humans through cloning. However, I was told our fleet had been ambushed and lost complete contact with the headquarters. And so they recruited me with 3 other teammates. We each geared up, preparing for the worst. Our head in command deployed us a couple miles off into the Arctic Circle. I hopped onto my snowmobile and we navigated through the thick snow until we were in close proximity to this facility. And so we powered down the snowmobiles and scouted the area with my partner, guiding me through the precise blueprints to this facility. I could see armed guards patrolling within the vicinity, holding snipers ready to fire. With no cover in sight, the absence of trees, and the vast expanse of white, thick snow for miles around made it impossible for them to be ambushed. And so I look over to my squad and I say to them, we'll rest now, but during nightfall, that's when we will strike.
This is the company responsible.
But they've done this, like, what's that other one, her name, from the Fugees, Lauryn Hill. She was all for going to cloning and doing what they do there, as long as she made money and got famous, right? After she did, she wanted out then, and but you know, they don't let people go, and so she started crying all the time when she was there. I can't be in this. I don't want to be in this anymore. I didn't know what it involved when I said that I would join. And so she's crying and everything, and it was like a downer to them. She really made quite a spectacle of herself, crying and the snot hanging out of her face, everything. It was really pathetic looking. And so then she made this song called I Get Out. Well, she's like, I get out, and I forget the rest of it. But she whined about it so much at cloning, they eventually let her get out. It was rare. It was just because they didn't want to hear it, see it anymore. Like, she went on and on and on. So they just let her leave.
You know, the music industry is just a microcosm of the world. So whenever you stand for something and you stand for goodness and truth, you will always get resistance. That's period. Whether you're in the pharmaceutical industry, the record industry, or whatever. Whenever you stand for truth and for the service, the service of others. See, I could make money very easily. I could make records that are self-indulgent and, basically self-promote me. I could do that. Promote myself. That was redundant, but you know what I mean. Just do those things. It's very easy. As a matter of fact, lyrically as an MC, that stuff comes easy. But in order to promote something higher, I feel now, at the ripe old age of 25, that the only thing that I could do is serve others. You understand?
The orphan trains, back in the day with the 1900s. With the orphan trains, they were doing a lot of what looked like cloning with children. And if you look back at the 1901 incubators,
Coney Island, I remember this now. Yep.
They had the stuff on where they had the incubators and they were showing all these children, and they said they were all premature, which was interesting. Every single child was premature, but they had just thousands and thousands of these children. So, you sit there and wonder, well, where were all these babies being born from? Where were they coming from? And then you kind of sit there and think back, well, 1901, they could have been cloning. And then now they're saying, we can maybe finally do it. But this technology's been around for a very long time.
I'd never even thought about that. And we had covered, it was one of those nights that I did a Did You Know section. And we were talking about all the incubator babies from Coney Island. They were pretty much on display. Like they were put in, street level windows. It was almost like going to a puppy mill. It was incredible. And never once did cloning ever cross my mind until right now.
A few different things that happens. The things that I've seen, like I've seen a couple of these kids that have gone missing, and what happens to them? Well, they get taken to be used for sex underground, of course, by either aliens or clones that are in this place, or real people that manage to get to these bases and go down to, mess with them. Some of them, they get eaten, though. They get literally eaten. Not by people, well, sometimes, but by aliens and stuff. They get eaten, literally eaten. Sometimes they just drain the blood out of them. Sometimes they eat the solids too. But see, some of the aliens, their favorite parts of solids, for the ones that do eat solids, some just drink blood, but the ones that eat solid, their favorite is brains and pancreas. They told me before themselves. They said pancreas to them tastes like cantaloupe.
Whoa.
Like totally. Their sense of taste is so much different than ours.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, bad smells good to them. Like they even like human excrement. It tastes like candy to them,
Tastes
depending
like
on
chicken.
what the person's been eating. Yeah, they eat it. To them, it smells like flowers. Really, it's pleasant. They like it. It's like a treat to them.
I heard they get like a buzz off of like they scare the kid, right?
Oh yeah,
Something like that, right? They scare him and then get a buzz.
Well, the thing is, you can do that with other people too. But when people get scared, and animals and stuff, like they put out adrenaline, adrenal glands, and then this does something through the blood that makes it taste richer to them. And thing is, the reason that they go to eat kids a lot is because kids don't have as many vaccinations, because some of these vaccinations can make them sick, and kids aren't smokers. They don't like the blood of smokers because it tastes, to them, they said it does taste like an ashtray or something in with the blood.
Sweet, I'm gonna start smoking.
Yeah, and yeah, they get a strange effect from the adrenaline. It gives them like a buzz. Like some of them have called it bliss. They call it bliss, is the word for the blood with the adrenaline in it.
Well, those are all the videos I had for you today. I hope you enjoyed them. I personally think cloning is real. I also think actors play multiple characters like Jim Carrey, and there's others like that. I think there's Robotoids where they, like a Joe Biden type person. Maybe sometimes it's Jim Carrey playing the role. Sometimes it's something a little more advanced than a Tesla bot with maybe a demon behind the wheel, or who knows. But it definitely makes you think. If you think about the orphan trains and the Cabbage Patch Babies with the incubators, the infant incubators, have they been cloning people since the 1900s after the reset? Who knows? But please hit that like button, share, comment, and subscribe. And I'll catch you on the next one.